Right, so it's a few pages, so if you can bear with me. Welcome class of 012. Actually, that doesn't sound very catchy. I could say it a few other ways. I could say class of O square root of 144. Or for some of the sake of the teachers who aren't too good at maths, I could say class of O 10 plus 2. Or I could even say class of O, Oliver's UMS score in physics. So it all started when I was playing bottle cap bowls in the common room. Someone tapped me on the shoulder and pointed at the window. I looked up and got the infamous Alan Sugar "You're fired" style point from Mr. Humphreys. My heart sank. He looked serious and I was convinced I'd done something wrong. I was thinking desperately of what I had done or said on Facebook for the past week. Or more worryingly, if anyone had seen my internet history. I arrived at the gate of Mordor itself and walked in. Mr. Humphrey sat me down, and to my relief, all he asked me was to think about writing a little speech for this assembly. But there were a few terms and conditions. Number one, the content of the speech had to adhere to UK law. Number two, I was not allowed to use copyrighted phrases such as "take a bite out of the reality sandwich," "slapped across the face with a wet kipper," the t'other one, "putting back into the pot," "I'm a historian by trade," and "cogitating." "Wake up and smell the coffee." "There's more than one way to skin a cat." "I still need your UCAS." "Don't park in the drop-off bay." "Can I speak to the Welsh backers?" "You should all be wearing your blue school jumpers, even though they're black." "Shoulda, coulda, woulda." "It's like teaching you how to suck eggs." And my personal favourite, planting the seed in your head and letting it germinate. All of these courtesy of Lee Hasdale. I agreed and then got to work. I didn't want to make the speech boring or too long, but it's both those things, so unlucky. I also have a feeling that not all the content of the speech will be legal. So it all kicked off in year 7. We were all so nervous and excited. Yet when we got to know each other, we believed that the next 7 years would be full of pain and misery. We instantly formed Amazonian-like tribes, teaching and rumour spreading, and that was just the boys. Then the testosterone, estrogen and the GCSEs kicked in, and we all realised we had common interests, if you know what I mean. We all evolved and hatched out of our shells, in year 10 and 11. And unforgettable things like the Ben Edwards fiasco of 09. This is when I believe we started to connect as a year, just like Shakespeare's metaphorical beast with two backs. I don't know if anyone got that. I think we all learned a few things at the end of our GCSEs. The Welsh teachers weren't as scary as we thought and are actually very nice. Mr. Wilkinson's lessons were the best, as he would usually let us out 10 minutes early, and that's if he was running late. The geography department were way too enthusiastic about this subject than themselves. The maths department is like an infinite lasting episode of Blue Swimming, just more intelligent and better looking than the hosts of that dreadful show. The English department had taught English for so long that they would overinterpret everything. I remember once in chess club, I said to Mr. Dickinson, "Sir, would you like to see my pawns?" I spent until the following week and I had a restraining order filed. And the science department. Where do I begin? I think you guys will agree with me when I say they have earned the names of the Smithy and Jenko. Especially Dunko, I mean Mr. Thomas. Who genuinely told the boys in my Year 8 class how to accurately check for signs of testicular cancer while watching primetime television. However, I think we truly bonded and helped each other up here when we came up to Year 12. In these past 2 years, I've become very good friends with people I didn't even smile at in the corridor before. We all asked each other how we were settling in and how many times to Spa we'd been that day. At the end of Year 12, senior prefect season had begun, and the controversies and underground talk had started. When we were all called to Mr. Humphrey's room and he announced the senior prefect, I was shocked. Honoured but shocked. I still think to myself, what on earth possessed some of you to vote for me? Well, in all fairness to you guys, this isn't exactly the first time an Egyptian has rigged elections. And that was a little Asanta, Arab Spring banter. Maybe the teacher saw something positive in me. Nah, I guess some of them are as simple as they look. From the first party to the winter ball, to Spa boycott, and to our last party this evening, and then the summer ball. Oh wait, how could I have forgotten the wall antics? Oh, and the panto. It showed us what kind of year group we are. One that argues and bitches. We had 2 days to come up with a panto that would last 45 minutes, and in the end we pulled it off. A panto which essentially was me wearing a condom on my head, running around threatening to kill Harley with my oversized snake, in an accent one can only describe as explicit. And Charlie, who wore a female coat and put on the most disgusting Scottish accent I've ever heard. The feeling of listening to it can only be compared to the feeling you get when you click on an obscure URL your friend has sent you 2 a.m. in the morning. And then when it loads, you cry in horror at the nature of the website. With Dahlia, who were chasing me through Saturday television in space and time. Some of the teachers came to me and said they thought it was one of the best pantos they had seen. Well, I guess I was right all along. The teachers are gullible. But we did it. Everyone who took part, whether backstage or on stage, should be proud. We worked together as a team. And we copyright the story and take it to the West End. I'll become as big as Andrew Lloyd Webber. I'll have my own audition show on the BBC, along the lines of, close your fly or it will slither in. They will be looking for someone as talented as me to play He Who Shall Not Be Named. I've had a fantastic 7 years. I'm not going to lie, there have been some hard times. But I, as I'm sure you, have had some fantastic laughs and smiles. There's no denying that when I leave, some hearts will be broken. And that's just the male staff. But this is life. In 4 years' time, you'll be receiving a speech from a fellow student just like this when you graduate. I honestly wish the best to each and every one of you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Quick fact on hearts. The shape of a love heart doesn't actually resemble the anatomy of a human heart, but rather the shape of a naked woman bending over from a bird's eye view. Anyway, I digress. I wish you all the best for the future. I shouldn't have said that. I digress. I wish you all the best for the future. I hope there's wealth, happiness and love for everyone. I genuinely mean that. Do whatever you want. Just be successful and make sure you enjoy doing it. And if you make others smile, then that's a bonus you should always consider. I ask of you 3 things. Number 1, always be ambitious. Apply for the best job. Train to be in the first team of a sport. Or in my case, chat up a girl out of my league. I mean, every girl on this planet. Number 2, enjoy life with others. Just smile. Always smile when you see someone, even if you don't know them. Open the door, be pleasant and make people laugh. In the words of Morgan Freeman in the film Evan Almighty, the world will become a better place with one act of random kindness at a time. And the thing is, it's true. Number 3, remember, you will always be a student. Whether you are a Class A1, banker, a teacher, or are retired, you will always learn new things. Knowledge is power. Don't just believe what people, the media or the government tell you. Research it for yourself and then make up your mind. Never judge or stereotype anyone. And now, as I'm sure you'll be pleased, the speech is coming to an end. And I would like to thank all the teachers, those who have taught me, and those who haven't had the pleasure to. Thanks to our form tutors of the past and present, and Mr. Kay, who has helped us this year and kept us senior prefect sane. Mr. Carter and Mr. Spencer, of course. Mr. Humphreys, who has always been there when we needed him, and always on our back when it comes to UCAS and paying for the invoice of our resits. What's that saying again? Those who can't do, teach. In all seriousness, I will always be grateful to the teachers who have passed down their knowledge and experience to us. Henry Ford said, anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. So maybe Mr. Arnold isn't as old as people say. But seriously, teachers are one of the most important jobs in society. For people to succeed, they must learn, and teachers have helped us begin this process. I'll remember and be grateful for my teachers for the rest of my life. Genuinely mean that. But most importantly, I want to thank you guys for putting up with me and my shenanigans, and for voting for me as head prefect. I'll miss you all and the great times we've had. For examples, the countless non-contact and non-violent sports you've had to invent as ball games had been banned. My favourite one has to be utensil bowls. Also to people who pioneered non-intrusive pylons. I think all the senior prefects will agree with me when I say it has been an honour and a pleasure to organise events and represent you guys. I hope you all feel the same. The amount of blood, sweat, tears, arguments, politics, more tears and sweat that we've had to go through have all been for you guys. We've had our differences as a year, but at the end of the day, we all care about each other, and that's the main thing. I'm sure we're all going to meet up during the holidays, so bring on the nights out and the reunions. I wonder how we're all going to change, or maybe not change in 10 years. I reckon Steve will still look like he's 30 years old. But then he will roughly be that age. I generally think Steve will get his HGV licence and will feature on the 15th series of Ice Road Truck. Getting paid tens of thousands of dollars to drive over a frozen river while wearing a wife-beater vest and chewing tobacco. Good on you, Steve-o. Oliver will still look like he's someone out of a 90s death metal band. But we'll hopefully have learned the importance of not disrespecting his parents' bed. Ben Edwards will have a liver functioning at 25% efficiency, yet will still manage to look in good shape. Harley will still be a womanizer. Meg will still look like she's just come back from a 2-year holiday in Morocco. And Jack will still refuse to settle down with a lad. Beans will buy a house within 5 minutes walk of his place so that he can nip quickly home to calm his nerves. Never feel stressed. Matthew Till will finally admit his religious beliefs. And me and Charlie will still use our friendship as a subsidy for our love lives. Someone once said, friendship is like peeing yourself. Everyone can see it, but only you experience the warm feeling it brings. So I would like you to know this now, that every time I have spoken or will speak to you, I will feel like I have peed myself. On the last note, it all began with a scarf. A brown checkered scarf I once wore to school. I walked into my form room in year 10 and Melina Moore saw me and said, Omar, that scarf is vile. You look like a paedophile. The word evolved and after a few days I was known as Pegs by half of the year group. And the rest, as they say, is history. Thank you everyone.
Omar. Omar.